a throne without an heir, a king without a chosen successor, a nation of 70 million people, and nobody is allowed to ask what happens next. Right now, the Kingdom of Thailand is sitting on one of the most dangerous royal crises in its modern history. The princess who was supposed to save the dynasty is dead. The only officially recognized prince is a 21-year-old whose name has never appeared as Crown Prince. And the reason why is something the entire country whispers about, but nobody dares to say out loud. One social media post, one YouTube comment, and you could be facing up to 15 years in prison. So who will actually rule Thailand next? Today, we are going to answer the question that 70 million Thais cannot. Let's uncover the truth, only on Empire Elegance. Thailand has a law called lèse majesté. Under this law, it is a criminal offense to say, or even imply, anything negative about the king, the queen, the heir apparent, or any member of the royal family. The punishment is 3 to 15 years in prison for every single count. If you post something online and 10 people share it, you can be charged 10 separate times. This is not a historical relic. People are actively prosecuted under this law today. So while the rest of the world openly debates what is happening inside the Thai royal court, inside Thailand, silence. Every journalist knows the line they cannot cross. Every citizen knows the words they cannot say. And every royal family member knows that speaking without permission could mean prison, or worse. This is the world into which Thailand's succession crisis has exploded, and it involves 5 very different candidates, each with a story more dramatic than the last. His name is Prince Diphongkorn Rasmijoti. He is 21 years old. He is the only officially recognized son of King Vajiralongkorn, and under the 1924 Palace Law of Succession, the document that governs the Thai throne, he is currently the heir presumptive. On paper, he is first in line. But here is the question the entire world is asking. Why, after nearly a decade on the throne, has the king never officially named his own son as crown prince? The answer, the one that cannot be printed in any Thai newspaper, the one that whispers through every royal court conversation, is that Prince Diphongkorn is widely believed to have a serious developmental disorder. Observers outside Thailand have described him as being on the autism spectrum, with severe learning disabilities. He rarely appears in public. When he does, he is almost always accompanied by close supervision. He visits Buddhist temples during school breaks and studies part of the year in Germany, but he has never been seen performing the public duties expected of a future king. His mother's story adds another layer of tragedy. The king divorced her in 2014. Shortly after, both of her parents were arrested and charged with lèse majesté and served more than 2 years in prison. She herself effectively disappeared from public life. Prince Diphongkorn remains officially the heir presumptive, but the king's decade-long silence on naming him crown prince speaks louder than any official statement ever could. If not the prince, then who? Princess Sirivanaveri Nariratana is 39 years old. She is the king's second daughter, born from his turbulent second relationship. Unlike her 4 brothers, she was never exiled. She has always lived in Thailand. She holds royal titles. She remains in the official line of succession, but her world is not the throne room. It is the runway. Known affectionately by Thai media as the designer princess, Sirivanaveri has built a global luxury fashion brand entirely under her own name. Her collections have been shown at Milan Fashion Week and the Cannes Film Festival. She has over 500 intellectual property assets, more than 250 registered designs, copyrights in dozens of countries, trademarks for jewelry, leather goods, and home decor. She was appointed YPO Ambassador for Fashion and Design just weeks before her half-sister Bajra died. She has also been an accomplished athlete, winning medals in badminton at the Southeast Asian Games. But here is the problem. In a 2018 television interview, Sirivanaveri herself said she had removed her princess hat to enjoy life as a normal university student. She has repeatedly kept a deliberate distance from politics and governance. She has never signaled any ambition toward the crown, and even if she wanted the throne, the 1924 palace law explicitly favors male heirs. A woman can only become queen if Parliament approves, and only if the king has died without appointing a male successor. There are multiple hurdles before Sirivanavari could ever be called Your Majesty. Now, the story gets truly extraordinary. In 1996, King Vajiralongkorn divorced his second wife, Sujari Nay, the former actress. He then did something almost unthinkable in royal history. He publicly disowned all 4 of their sons, declaring that they had renounced their royal titles. The boys, Juthavachara, Vajrasorn, Chakriwat, and Vajrawi, were taken to the United States, stripped of everything, and essentially erased from the royal family. They grew up as ordinary men in America. One became an aviation director in San Diego. One trained as a medical doctor and built a YouTube health channel with hundreds of videos. One became a lawyer in New York City. That lawyer was Vajrasorn Vivacharawongse, the second eldest of the 4 brothers. In August 2023, something extraordinary happened. For the first time in 27 years, Vajrasorn returned to Bangkok. He rode a tuk-tuk through the streets. He ate pad thai at a local stall. He met with ordinary Thais and Thai Americans. Some people prostrated before him, the ancient gesture of reverence for royalty. He spoke publicly about equality, justice, and fairness. He spoke about wanting a better Thailand. For a moment, it felt like the prodigal prince had come home. Then came the twist. His brothers Juthavachara and Vajrawi were denied entry to Thailand in May 2025. And just 1 month later, Vajrasorn and Chakrawat, who had chosen to stay in Bangkok, were detained and deported. The door had been closed again. Hard. Today, the 4 brothers remain abroad, their royal titles still stripped, their claim to the throne technically closed, unless the king himself chooses to reopen it. Further down the line of succession sit 2 more names, the king's own sisters. Princess Sirindhorn is 70 years old, beloved by an entire generation of Thais who grew up seeing her face on stamps, coins, and school posters. She has spent decades dedicated to education, science, and conservation. She holds doctoral degrees. She is considered by many to be the most genuinely respected member of the current royal family, more admired, many would whisper, than the king himself. Princess Chulabhorn is 67 years old, a trained scientist with research credentials in chemistry, recognized internationally for her work. Both women are aging. Neither has been positioned for succession. And the same constitutional restriction applies to them as to every other woman. Parliament would need to vote to elevate a queen in the absence of a male heir. Their names appear in the official line of succession, but to most observers, they represent a last resort rather than a plan. So here is where Thailand actually stands today. The king is 73 years old. He has not named an heir in nearly a decade. His only officially recognized son has never been made crown prince, and the reasons, though unspoken, are understood by everyone. His most accomplished daughter is dead. His second daughter prefers Paris Fashion Week to the palace. His exiled sons have been deported again. His sisters are aging, and if the king were to die tomorrow, there would be no clear, publicly announced line of succession. What happens in that scenario is genuinely unknown. Under the 1924 law, the senior royal officials would be required to call an emergency process to determine succession. Parliament could be involved. The military, which has long been the real power behind the Thai throne, would almost certainly have its own opinion. Thailand has seen 12 military coups since 1932. The monarchy and the military have always been deeply intertwined, and in the vacuum of a succession crisis, those who hold weapons tend to have the loudest voice. The deeper truth beneath all of this is one that many Thais, particularly the young, have already begun to grapple with. A growing pro-democracy movement in Thailand has openly questioned the monarchy's power and immunity. Young protesters have taken to the streets carrying signs that would have been unthinkable a generation ago. The lèse-majesté laws that once silenced an entire population are increasingly being tested by a generation that grew up with the internet, and with a very different idea of what a country should look like. The succession crisis doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists in a country that is quietly, carefully, and sometimes bravely asking a question its laws say it cannot ask. What kind of monarchy do we want? And, do we want one at all? No one can answer that question loudly. Not in Thailand. Not yet. But the silence itself is an answer. A dynasty that has stood for over 2 centuries now faces its most uncertain moment. One king, no named heir. A prince whose name is never spoken alongside the word crown. A designer princess with no political ambitions. 4 exiled sons who keep being sent home. And 70 million people who are watching and waiting and staying very, very quiet. Who will be Thailand's next ruler? Right now, nobody, not even the king, has given the answer. If you found this story powerful, please like and subscribe to Empire Elegance and hit the notification bell for more stories about the lives and choices of the world's most influential figures. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.